I stand by a tree. The tree is older than me. The river is older than the tree. And the ocean is older than the river, but younger than the earth, which is younger than the sun. Born in a galaxy, descended from a universe ancient as time itself, yet will live long after I am gone. Everything has brought me to this moment where I live, giving my energy to the future. I am small, but part of something great. As you are, as we all are. Buddhism speaks of the inner peace people feel when their minds are one with the universe. From the Sutra Huineng, the illimitable void of the universe is capable of holding myriads of things of various shape and form, such as the sun, the moon, the stars, the mountains, the rivers, worlds, springs, rivulets, bushes, woods, good men, bad men, dharmas pertaining to goodness or badness, deva plains, hells, great oceans, all the mountains of the Mahamero. Space takes in all these. And so does the voidness of our natures. We say that the essence of mind is great because it embraces all things, since all things are within our nature. As a child, I learned to find the Big Dipper, which points to the North Star, so that even in my darkest moments, I can find my way. Throughout human histories, people have looked at the sky and sought gods and goddesses, searching for the source of their being. The Shona people of Africa offered this prayer. Great Spirit, who sews the heavens like cloth, may you knit together that which is below. The first chapter of Genesis describes the Big Bang. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. The Spirit of God was moving over the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. We may speculate about the cause of the Big Bang, and we will never be able to see it even with the best telescopes. But perhaps within 50 years, maybe less, humanity will witness the moment of creation. From Hinduism, the Rig Veda reads, "At first was neither being nor non-being. There was not air, nor yet sky beyond. What was its wrapping? Where? In whose protection? Was water there, unfathomable and deep? There was no death then, nor yet deathlessness. Of night or day there was not any sign. The one breathed without breath by its own impulse. Other than that, there was nothing at all. Darkness was there, all wrapped around by darkness. In the beginning, love arose, which was the primal germ cell of the mind. The seers, searching in their hearts with wisdom, discovered the connection of being in non-being. Who really knows? Who can presume to tell it? Whence was it born? Whence issued this creation? Even the gods came after its emergence. Then who can tell from whence it came? One who surveys it in the highest heaven, he surely knows. Or maybe he does not. Unitarian minister William Ellery Channing stated that even to wonder about the universe is a blessing. What blessedness it is to dwell amidst this transparent air, which the eye can piece without limits, amidst these floods of pure, soft, cheering light, under this immeasurable arch of heaven, and the sight of these countless stars. An infinite universe is each moment opened to our view, and this universe is the sign and symbol of infinite power, intelligence, purity, bliss, and love. I remember when the night sky came alive for me. It's July 4th, 1971. It was the year of my small town in Michigan, Rogers City, Michigan, their centennial. And because they were saving fireworks for the August celebration, there were no fireworks on July 4. Well, my friends and I, we camped in our backyard, and then we snuck down to the beach, and we're on a grassy slope by the pavilion, and we were looking at these pink ripples in the sky. They were rippled like the ripples in the shallow water along the beach, and they were just kind of glowing. It was the first time I saw the aurora borealis. A month, or maybe a year or two later, my friends again and I were camping in our backyard on an August night, celebrating my birthday. And one of my friends was on the roof on top of the garage, as he was wont to do. And he called out, "Look at all the falling stars." And we joined him on the roof, and the sky was just full of motion. It was the Perseid meteor shower. John Denver had had a similar experience, and he wrote the song Rocky Mountain High, talking about fire in the sky. Years later, I would write my own lyric. On my birthday, the stars shoot through the sky. That's why my life has been a meteor ride. The Perseids are the result of the Earth passing through the tail of the Swift-Tuttle comet. It circles the sun every 130 years, leaving debris in its wake. It was named in 1862, and it reappeared in 1992. And comets have semi-predictable courses. They have since looked back in the record at other comet sightings and said this one comes around about every 130 years. But comets go into deep space and pick up materials, and then as they get to the sun, that material burns off, and that's where you see their tails. And so the mass of this object changes and is not a constant. Upon its September 1992 rediscovery, the comet's date of passage was off from the 1973 prediction by 17 days. Because the mass is not stable, you can't predict velocity accurately. If on its next passage, mark your calendars for July 21-26, if it's off by another 15 days, the comet could impact the Earth on August 14th, 21-26. I will be 66 years at that time. So the Webb telescope might help us find our beginnings. But when we look at the Perseid Showers, we might be looking at humanity's end. So each August I look to the skies. In August of 1991, while visiting northern Michigan, I saw a giant sparkler. It was probably about 1/4 the size of the moon go across the sky. It was just startling. And I think I have a memory that I even heard it kind of crackle. And I looked up like, how big would that rock be to cause something like that? And the idea was it probably was about a centimeter long, maybe 2. The shooting stars that we see are tiny, smaller than grains of rice, millimeters, but they burn very brightly. In 1998, I was sitting on the shores of Lake Huron, facing north, and the skies were very dark. And Gail was with me, and we were sitting with some friends on the beach who had a bonfire. And we could see everything. And some of the shooting stars were so faint that you could kind of detect motion, but you weren't sure if you saw any light. That moment also made it into a song. Moonlit fires on the beaches, our gazing eye outreaches to catch a falling star. But most of my adult life, I have lived in urban areas. City lights create a haze which makes viewing impossible. Plus, so many nights have been cloudy. Once in Maryland, the church held a viewing party at a country estate upon the hill. It was out in the country. There wasn't much light from Washington, D.C., and so we had darkness. But we also had clouds and wind and intermittent drizzle. We saw no stars, but Unitarians always have a good time when there's a potluck. And someone gave me as a birthday present a CD by a local folk group called Rockwell Church with the following lyric in the song Through the Fall. Oh, I am dreaming. I am waltzing through the night, twirling in the madness, dipping in the light. And we will laugh about the good things and cry about the way life goes on and on and on and on. It's a wistful song about enjoying these bits of beauty in the midst of turmoil. So each year I look, and most years I am disappointed. My first year here, I went up by the high school. I was thinking there's this big football field and there'll be darkness, but there's just still too much light for New Bern, even on the edge of town. So I've gone out and looked at various places in the country, and sometimes it's rainy, and sometimes I said, wow, this church is very isolated. It's in the middle of nowhere, and they'll have a parking lot. I'll go out to that church out in the country, and boy, they had the brightest security lights in that parking lot I've ever seen. So this year, I think I may have found a good viewing spot. It is northwest of town at the Spring Garden boating launch. Some of our kayakers will be familiar with this spot. It faces the Neuse River in a northerly direction. The town of Vanceboro, which is with its 7 or 8 houses, is really about a mile or 2 away. It should be dark. But I have also read this week in preparing for this sermon that there will be a big source of light in the southern sky. Not only will there be a full moon, it will be a supermoon. A supermoon occurs when the moon's orbit is closest to Earth at the same time that the moon is full. About 226,000 miles. If it's too bright to see a meteor shower, we can enjoy the beauty of the moon. Now, the best time to see shooting stars will be on August 12th between 3 a.m. and sunrise. Now, my many years of ministerial experience tell me that that's a very poor time to plan a church event. So I invite you to come join me at the Spring Garden Boat Lounge on the evening of August 12th at 9 p.m. The sun sets at 8. The twilight will be gone. Moonrise is at 8:55, so it will be low in the sky. It might not interfere with us too much. Bring a chair. Bring bug spray. It is August down by the river. Bring refreshments and patience. Waiting and watching is a spiritual experience. Someone next to you may scream whenever they see one. By the time you turn your head, it's gone. So you have to trust that person is telling the truth. And wait to see your own. But these are not fireworks. These are not human distractions made to thrill or entertain. This is subtle. This is the universe whispering to you as it kisses the atmosphere. Stillness interrupted. Our naked eye will not see the Webb telescope. That is 1,000,000 miles away, beyond the moon. It's looking into deep space. We will be looking at the edge of the atmosphere. The stratosphere only extends 30 miles above us. It's this thin, protective layer that allows us to live. We are fragile creatures in a fragile system. Precarious, but glorious. For we can see many things and imagine more. Carl Sagan wrote, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself." And Joni Mitchell sang, "We are stardust. We are golden." Whether or not you can join me on the landing in Spring Garden, find some time this week to look at the night sky. Realize that we share the endeavor of the universe. As we decipher one mystery, new questions arise. Infinity challenges us to be larger than ourselves. We are elements of the miracles surrounding us. The miracle of our existence is ours to behold. May we bless and be blessed.